Yaddle Chattel.
Woo! And it's a Star Wars podcast, baby, and we are coming in hot. That's right, the big Ahsoka Tano premiere, 2 episodes. We're gonna get into it, we're gonna break it down, but that's not all. Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon making some noise, and we got some comments from Zack Snyder about it. New Boba Fett, we're gonna fucking tell you exactly who it is. The Patterson cut. Let's see if Jared did his fucking homework for a change. George Lucas, what crazy-ass idea did he have for Empire Strikes Back? You're gonna find out on this thrilling, action-packed episode of Yaddle Channel, a Star Wars podcast. My name is Darth David, and I did not do any cocaine before the show. This is naturally how I am, folks. I've been driving my entire fucking family crazy since 1977 and proud of it with this kind of energy. But Darth David doesn't do Yaddle Chattel alone. We need the light and we need the dark. Of course, I'm the dark side. Come on, you know that, baby. I mean, come on, Sith. Come on, no Jedis can sound like this. But I do got a Jedi sitting directly to my left, your right. Put it together for Jedi Jared!
Hi, David. How are you doing this week?
I am doing fantastic. Now, I understand that you said you were a little bit ill, and...
But my child was ill.
Okay. And because it made it feel like I was forcing you to do the Yaddle Channel today.
No, I was just letting you know, in case you get sick.
Well, don't worry about Siths getting sick. You know why? Because I can always overcome that with what I call sciences that are most unnatural. So I don't worry about getting sick.
Okay.
I'm one of the more non-sick people you'll ever meet. Now, when I get sick, I'll get sick really hard for like 2 weeks, and it'll be the worst sickness ever, and I'll try to let everyone know I'm dying and to please make the funeral preparations. But after a 2-week period, and this is like each year, after that 2-week period each year, then I'm pretty much healthy for the rest of the year. What do you think about that? Then maybe the fucking Sith Lord has made some sort of pact with the goddamn dark side, and that keeps me fresh as a daisy. Thoughts and opinions?
Well, just let me know when you have that 2-week period, and we'll take a couple of weeks off.
Yaddle Chattel, are we on next week? That's going into Labor Day weekend.
Yes.
All right, first of all, get a
little bit
scooch
closer.
to the right. We'll just scooch to the right a little bit. Yeah.
That way.
Bobby wants us sitting in the same distance from the microphone. I have assured him we are sitting in the same distance from the microphone. But what that requires is you to speak up.
Okay. Well, I thought I've been doing a pretty good job.
I will, you know what? Plus 2 points. I noticed last episode you spoke audibly for a change. This way, human Yaddle Chattel fans could hear you, as opposed to just insects and mice Yaddle Chattel fans, who were the only ones previous that could actually hear your voice. Hummingbirds too. They said hummingbirds could hear your very quiet whispers. But see, we go for a human audience. Humans is actually Yaddle Chattel's biggest demographic. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. Hummingbirds is second, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But we want that human audience, so nice and loud, all right?
You got it.
You're doing a good job, though.
Thank you, Mr. Champion.
Jedi Jared, we'll discuss that. Maybe we'll take next week off. We might take the week following that. Maybe that's the way to do it. Or maybe we won't take any week off. We don't take a lot of Yaddles off. Every once in a while.
I'd say we should wait till there's no there's no new content.
That's a good point. So maybe we just fuck the days off, go with Ahsoka, and then we take a nice week off for ourselves, a well-earned vacay. It's not a bad idea. Jared, we're going to get into Ahsoka. That will be the main star of the show tonight.
Sure.
I think so. But, number one, I want to hit a couple topics before we do the Ahsoka Tano show. That just premiered on Disney+.
Can we do, before we do that, can I get to some emails? Maybe?
Well, let's do the emails after a couple topics first.
Okay. Because
big topics are important.
I think one of them's a topic you had, but it came from...
I want that, but I want to do the Zack Snyder Rebel Moon trailer first because it's a big deal. As we know, Zack Snyder actually pitched the idea of this movie to Lucasfilm. Now, I'm learning a few more details about this, and it's really interesting. He actually pitched it to Lucasfilm, it seems like, before they sold to Disney. So, in other words, this was almost a pitch, I guess, to George himself. Because Zack Snyder is saying that
I gotta look something up real quick.
Please
don't.
don't.
It involves
I
Zack.
have my fucking facts right. I just got the quote from Zack Snyder that said I pitched it 15 years ago, which would have been 2008. They didn't sell to Disney until 2012.
No, I understand. I wanted to see when this particular Zack Snyder movie came out.
It is coming out. It's not out yet.
There's another one that I wanted to reference in regards to
Oh my
this.
God. Okay. Hurry. Do whatever the shit you got to do. The point being, Zack Snyder has had the idea for this movie for quite some time. And I'm really starting to get interested in this entire story. And just because it's got that big Star Wars element, that this was a Star Wars movie. Now, here is the further detail. And Jesus fucking Christ, isn't this exactly what they want? So, Zack Snyder said, I don't want to be beholden to any legacy characters, and at the same time want to completely respect and delve into the world of Star Wars and play in the sandbox, but do it in the most pure way possible. George Lucas was influenced by Kurosawa's The Seven Samurai.
Yeah.
This movie's going to be The Seven Jedi. He said literally, no. That's the quote. Why are you laughing? What is funny about that?
Because it's unoriginal.
No, it's unoriginal. No. The Seven, George Lucas did not remake The Seven Samurai. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah, and then they remade it into The Magnificent Seven here in the United States.
Right, but this would be with Jedi involved. They would all be fresh Jedi. I think that's what we're seeing on the trailer. Sit a little bit to your right and closer. I think that it's these are the characters that you're seeing on the trailer. I think you're seeing Seven Jedi, but you don't like that idea?
I mean,
I thought it was kind of a cool idea.
They've actually done that a few times already now. They did
In Star Wars?
Yes, they did an episode of Clone Wars.
Jesus fucking Christ. No one gives a shit about a half-hour cartoon. And I love the Clone Wars and Rebels.
Dude. Movies are movies.
I
know, but they took the same exact premise and did it in The Mandalorian.
If there's a good idea for a fucking movie and it was done on some stupid-ass cartoon, you fucking don't care. Ask the fucking creators of Obi-Wan Kenobi. They did the same thing when Ahsoka Tano split Darth Vader's mask in half with the lightsaber. They took that shot because it was going to work really well for Obi-Wan Kenobi. They didn't fucking care. They shouldn't.
There's one thing of doing a nod. There's another thing of just basically taking the premise of a film and just putting it in space.
But what he's saying, okay, so you're really hating on this. It's interesting.
Here's the thing.
I mean, you're allowed to make your own opinions that you want. What I'm saying is, Zack Snyder said, George Lucas has always talked about the Seven Samurai, but we have yet to see that in Star Wars. We've seen guys escape. We've seen bandits. We've seen this. We've seen that.
Yeah, go watch The Seven Samurai. You see,
it hasn't been done in the Star Wars galaxy.
So all it is instead of katana,
Isn't this? Hold on. Haven't you been a proponent of Star Wars Visions?
Yeah.
This is what we're fucking getting now on Star Wars Visions. We're getting shit like that. When Zack Snyder is saying 15 years ago, I wanted to do that in live action. Zack Snyder wanted to do what Star Wars Visions is doing now in cartoons. 15 years later, Zack Snyder wanted to do that in live action. Why are you hating on this fucking idea?
Okay.
I hate you.
Okay.
I am a Sith today.
Okay. Zack Snyder is in two categories. There's when Zack Snyder has actual, source content to pull from. He's really good at that. I like Watchmen. I like
Watchmen was good.
I like Day of the Dead or Dawn of the Dead. I like 300. I like all those films.
I like Zack Snyder's Justice League, Zack Snyder's cut, the Zack Snyder cut.
It's
not the fucking theatrical release, but the 4-hour one. I actually really enjoy.
When Snyder has to write on his own, it's garbage. Man of Steel is And they potentially had one of the
You
best.
didn't see the fucking screenplay. You didn't see the dialogue. We're talking premises here, brother.
Have you seen Sucker
No,
Punch?
but do you know how the fucking pitch works in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Do you like this idea of 7 Jedi? That's all. We're talking pitches. We're not talking dialogues here. We don't know. How do you know that fucking Zack Snyder couldn't pull in a really talented screenwriter to help him with the fucking dialogue? George Lucas did with Larry Kasdan in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Have you ever actually seen Sucker Punch?
Yes, I've seen Sucker Punch.
It's awful. It's one of the worst fucking movies I've ever seen. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
I saw it once, and by the way, I actually like Sucker Punch.
It's awful.
I disagree.
It's considered one of the worst movies ever made.
I didn't think so.
It was it was basically a softcore porn music video.
I only saw it once, and I was fucked up on acid.
Well, that's probably why.
But I liked it.
Awful.
Well, on acid, it's good. But the other movies I saw, not on acid.
Man of Steel is...
I'm not talking about, God damn you. Last time I asked this fucking question, forget even Zack Snyder. Let's pretend goddamn Spielberg wanted to do this. Do you like the premise?
It's okay.
Of the seven Jedi, based on the Kurosawa's The Seven Samurai, because George was influenced by Kurosawa but never executed the actual Seven Samurai.
It's okay.
Do you like it?
I wouldn't spend $100 million on it.
Because this, to me, like I just said, sounds like what they've done with Visions, which has gotten a lot of acclaim.
Sure.
Because it would be all fresh new characters. So, again, if you haven't seen the trailer for Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon, go check it out.
I don't see Snyder having the kind of talent or ability to pull off the kind of, reimagining of, Lone Swordsman and Cub type of...
I read more quotes from Snyder where he's got a lot of good things to say. How about this for a very simple fucking observation? He says, why do we let some remote desert farmland shithole like Tatooine be the fashion leaders for the entire galaxy? How come everyone dresses like the people we saw in Tatooine? Why doesn't each planet have their own fucking wardrobe and costume aesthetic? Wouldn't some planets have, guys in all neon jumpsuits? Some planets have earthly colors. Some planets be wacky. Some planets look like they're from the future. Wouldn't there be lots of different wardrobe? In a way, though, I'm saying that's actually a great point. Just in thinking about costumes and variety, he's at least thinking about a new approach to Star Wars. A fresh approach.
A fresh approach by taking a classic film and remaking it.
With the costumes. You're having trouble following me today.
No, but
I'm
following the logic.
But you're commenting on things. You're commenting on my previous point.
Oh.
Rather than the point I just fucking said.
Right, okay.
So I'm literally now talking about the costumes, right? Does he have a point with that?
I guess. But then you're talking about a pitch, right? And he's saying, then it's the pitch. And you know what a studio executive's thinking about that? Well, we've got all these old robes and all this other shit we use for Star Wars. Now we've got to hire and spend all this extra money to make all this new original stuff.
What you just said is probably the reason why Star Wars is in the shape for some fans that it's in. Because that's a fucking cheap-ass, lazy, non-innovative approach to Star Wars. And Snyder's trying to fucking add some freshness to it. I'm
sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. Because his big pitch is the Seven Samurai in space, and you're saying, well, he's trying to revolutionize Star Wars.
I didn't say he's trying to revolutionize
He's trying
Star
to bring
Wars.
something fresh in, right?
That would be fresh, dude. 7 brand new fucking Jedi, 7 brand new characters, nothing beholden, brand new legacies and brand new stories. That literally is the definition of fresh. We would have no idea who these people are.
I know.
And it would be this epic 7-tiered story, which is what he was going to do. Tell 7 stories of 7 different Jedi.
Oh, so he's trying to do like
Visions!
Well, no, is he trying to do more of a Rashomon?
Right! Something like that!
So it's told from 7 different perspectives?
No. For all we know, this could legitimately be 7 different stories that start to weave towards the end of the film. We really don't know. But some people are thinking it could be even almost 7 separate stories. Period. And then he'll wait for the second movie to fucking weave in the second Rebel Moon to weave in these stories. I'm telling you, it's going to be closer to Star Wars Visions than you realize. And why I'm disappointed is, why are we giving fucking Star Wars Visions what should be a movie? And Zack Snyder decided to run with the fucking movie. Because why? They wanted that same approach, only they wanted it as a cartoon from fucking, some goddamn, anime studio no one's heard of?
They gave him, okay. If Zack Snyder came to me in 2020 or 2022 with this pitch again, right? Because, things get pitched here and there and then they go into, development hell?
Yes.
Type of thing. Like, for example, Lawrence Kasdan was supposedly written the greatest screenplay of all time. And it, took 20, 30 years for it to be in development?
What?
The Bodyguard?
Oh, right. Okay. All right.
Wasn't it considered like the holy grail of scripts?
I don't
That's
know.
what it was.
The Bodyguard, never heard this factoid, but go ahead. What's your point?
My point is that if I was Bob Iger, if I was Kathleen Kennedy, and I saw how he handled DC, I wouldn't hand him that.
You would not hand.
I wouldn't. No. Look who they handed it off to. The guy who built Marvel, who helped build Marvel. They handed it over to the right guy, Jon Favreau.
All right. What about the fact that this was pitched 15 years ago?
Lucas wasn't.
By the way, Zack Snyder has had recent success. You just brought up his, the Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead thing.
That was almost 20 years ago. Dawn of the Dead.
I know. I'm just saying.
His career's popped up in the last 20 years.
The Justice League thing was kind of a big deal. It got on. Well, it got a lot of media coverage that the fans got. I know. That's a good thing. So now you're bringing in a guy who's got a huge fucking fan base that can literally change the opinions of movie studios.
I think that was artificially propped up because these people were talking about, let's release the Ayer cut of the original Suicide Squad movie. That movie was fucking garbage too.
No, it's just that they think that every cut is going to be good, and every cut is not going to be good. No, I understand what you're saying.
That's insulting.
But Zack Snyder's cut was good.
Compared to Joss Whedon's cut, yes. But was I as someone who's actually a DC fan and a collector, was I extremely happy with the way that he handled all of that, his foray into DC? Absolutely not. And would have done everything completely fucking different. You don't
Get closer to the mic.
You don't make you don't make Superman, who's considered part of American mythology, this dark and brooding character. That's Batman. Superman's always supposed to be the fucking hope. He's supposed to be Luke Skywalker. He's supposed to be a symbol for hope.
They go that way all the time these days. Everyone's got to be. It's this thing of every male character over the age of 35 practically has to be brooding and upset. Men can't be happy and funny and spirited anymore. You're not allowed to go to the right here. You're killing me. Don't make me fucking bring this up anymore. I'm gonna snap your fucking head. I know, but
I'm left-handed, so I lean to the left.
Well, you're doing a fucking radio show with the microphone's on your right. So your stupid opinion of I'm left-handed, so I lean to the left is fucking bonkers.
You should get some water.
I know, but we've been doing. This is our 69th episode. Is there going to be a time 69. In Yaddle Chattel hit?
Nice,
folks. He's supposed to be the Jedi, and he's making disgusting sexual innuendos on our episode 69.
Nice.
Okay, it's episode 69.
Nice,
folks. Yaddle heads, you approve of this? Now you see why I get angry at him. And it's just amazing. You do start good, And then as the show keeps going...
I'm still projecting.
No. But as the show kept going,
So what's the
you were
problem?
going more and more to the left because in 15 minutes you were going to be broadcasting from my fucking living room.
No.
Because you were like this every 4 minutes. Next thing you know, he's going to be like, hey, Dave, I really love fucking Ahsoka.
I like to lean on my left. I'm left-handed.
That's... Please, with the left-handed already. I am going to fucking... This is what I'm going to do. By the way, how about this lightsaber? I think this looks about as good as the ones on the show. Sorry, but we'll get to it. We'll get to that.
I didn't realize we were going to talk that much about Zack Snyder.
All right, quick.
Look. I think Zack's. I want to end a positive note for Zack Snyder.
It's an important issue.
I think that Snyder is a really good. Like, he sees things visually.
He's a visual filmmaker and could use help with his scripts. I got no issues with that. I think that's an accurate statement.
But he's a shit writer.
But this is also Star Wars, and he can get help. They can afford a writer, and I'm sure they can have someone hold his hand and say, Zachy.
Oh, what the guy who wrote
your
episode.
visuals are awesome, Zachy, but we're going to we'll just fucking bring in goddamn Kasdan's kid.
You're an artist, right? You're an artist, right, Dave?
I am an artist.
Would you like it if someone did that to you?
What?
Said, hey, Dave, you paid you a lot of compliments, said a lot of nice things about you, but here's one of your shortcomings, and we want to fix that shortcoming. You'd probably flip the fuck out and be like, I'm a fucking artist. This is my fucking art.
No, because they wouldn't approach it like that. They would say, okay, we are going to give you assistance. I am a brilliant artist. You should use adjectives when describing me. I am a transcendent artist, a genius artist. But if someone offers me assistance or help, I don't turn it down. I say, oh, okay.
You'll just tell them it's a shit idea.
No, if it is a shit idea and if it sucks and if your help was completely pointless or if your help ended up detracting from my product, then I'll let you know about it. But I'll never turn down help. I don't have an ego like that. That's very self-absorbed to be like, hey, I will help you out. No.
Go back and rewatch Sucker Punch.
I do agree that Zack Snyder's talents lie in his visual presentation. I think he is a wonderful visual director. I also agree with you. Short round. I agree with you that there have been some movies that I felt like, Zack Snyder films that were so close to being like fucking awesome, and they wind up being like a B+. Not that there's anything wrong with a B+, right? Or even a B. But there's a couple of Zack Snyder films for me, the Batman and Superman, probably lower than a B, maybe even a C. But it's like, there was shit there. And the visuals were there. He's very cool. He's got a great eye, and he does fresh shit. Agreed. Sometimes the story doesn't get moving. Gotta get that story moving. I agree with you on that.
I'd say he's a better version of Michael Bay.
Oh, shit.
A way better version of Michael Bay. Because you could tell where he came from. He came from like making music videos. So everything has a very music video-esque type of feel to it.
Fair.
Whereas like there are other, like, Spielberg, to compare to one of the greats, doesn't come from like a music video background. Like, so it's got more of a film feel to it.
Fair.
It's very much, you could tell where he made his bones from, and he still likes to use a lot of the techniques and hasn't really evolved into an auteur.
Ooh, wow. You didn't think there was some great visuals with the Justice League? I thought there was some of the coolest shit. I've said before that one of the things that I need out of my Batman movie is each Batman movie has to have a kick-ass Batmobile sequence. And that Batmobile sequence ranks among my favorite in Batman movie history. Just for Batman movies, the fucking goddamn Batmobile chase with Ben Affleck shooting all those fucking crazy-ass aliens with wings and going through that was amazing. That might be the greatest Batmobile. But let's move on from Snyder. I hear your opinion. I think this is going to be one of the more interesting stories to watch. I can't wait to see it. Because the movie's coming out on Netflix. Some people are saying that it should also be released in the theater. I agree with that. Well, why wouldn't you?
One of my fraternity brothers actually worked on one of his previous projects. The one he did with the zombies, the zombie heist one.
Right.
Yeah, he worked. One of my fraternity brothers worked on that.
Yeah, but why would Netflix want to get some cash and release it in theaters? Movie like Zack Snyder, a Zack Snyder movie needs to be get a theatrical release. He makes movie theater movies.
Yeah, but I think also I think the DC stuff kind of hurt him.
All right, well, didn't hurt him if Netflix is giving him $200 million to make this in the first place. It didn't hurt him.
Netflix doesn't make some of the best business
That's
decisions.
my point. This is a Netflix bonehead decision. So that's that. Patterson cut. Did you watch it?
I started watching.
Shout out to Rebel Force Radio for introducing to us the Patterson cut, and I figured it out. I downloaded it.
Did the same
I
thing.
went to the website. I downloaded it, and I'll let you in on the workaround. I just uploaded it privately. I created a YouTube thing just to upload it privately. And all, 3 hours uploaded perfectly. And actually, you can upload it in 4K, which is the version I chose.
I don't like 4K.
Which version did you choose? HD?
1080p
1080
HD.
Okay. I chose the 4K. It worked for me. It was wonderful. 1080.
I love standard. I know we've mentioned this before, but I like it being fake. I don't want to see, I'll never forget this. I was watching the Avengers in 1080 Ultra HD, and I could see the sweat and the imperfections on Chris Evans or Robert Downey Jr. I want my movie characters to be larger than life and perfect. And I hate it. It looks like a soap opera.
One of the things that happened, that was the issue with Peter Jackson's The Hobbit. When he came back after, making the brilliant Lord of the Rings, and decided he wanted to go into the most super duper 4K, 5K, 8 fucking K, whatever it is. And it was so clear and it looked so amazing that it actually felt like
it looks fake.
Well, yeah, you felt like you were on a movie set, which was kind of cool and weird and different, but at the same time, after a couple hours, it feels like you're on a movie set rather than you're in this specific world where hobbits live.
That's what I was saying last week about watching 2001 in HD. It's
I disagree with that. 2001 HD to me is perfect because Kubrick is a fucking detailed son of a bitch.
No, he is. But I could see I saw things that bothered me just a little bit.
Fine.
I think
Patterson cut.
I started watching it. I haven't finished it yet.
Oh my!
I've been dealing with a sick child.
Oh! You had a week to prepare, and you couldn't take 2.5 hours out.
Yep.
Why do you do this to us?
That's
How much have you watched?
The bit.
Why? It's not a bit to me. Can you imagine if I came with the same attitude of, hey, I'm going to do nothing for Yaddle Chattel, but go ahead, carry the show? No! There wouldn't be a fucking Yaddle Chattel if that was my fucking approach.
Okay.
I know. But, you get a week to watch a 2.5 hour movie.
I will watch it and we'll talk about it next week.
At this point, I don't care. How much did you fucking get? How much did you watch?
About 10 minutes.
10 minutes!
Yes, yeah, actually.
And then what happened?
I had to put my kid down for a nap.
Okay, every single day, Jared? See, Jared, again, a week. It's not like you had this homework assignment yesterday. A week. So what were you doing the other days?
I'm 36 years old. I don't like fucking homework. I'm not going to fucking do homework.
So you don't have a job?
I do have a job. That's why I couldn't fucking watch it, because I have a job and responsibilities.
I hate people who pretend that they're busier than they are.
I'm not pretending.
You didn't have 2.5 hours of
I watched
free time.
fucking Ahsoka. Because I thought that was the real priority.
That is! We're gonna get into Ahsoka. But this is not the first time that you have told audiences you are gonna watch something and you fucking don't. Remember the Indiana Jones 5 review that you were supposed to do? Did you see Indiana Jones 5, you piece of shit?
No.
So fuck you! Getting all fucking tough of I'm a 36-year-old, I don't like homework.
Are you going to fire me yet?
No, but just, how about this? Don't fucking tell then our audiences that you're ever gonna do anything.
Okay, fine, I won't.
How about the approach being do something for the show? Robert and I have to edit the whole fucking show. I'm the one who does all the goddamn fucking show prep. Will you just help out? I literally am asking you to watch a movie. A Star Wars movie. It's not homework. How about that? It's a pleasant experience. I'm recommending a pleasant experience for you. Could you take me up on my recommendation?
I downloaded it, I uploaded it, I got fucking several flags. I was like afraid that they were gonna take away my YouTube.
They can never do anything when it's a private video. I told you that.
Well, I told you I'm gonna watch
You
it.
stupid lunkhead. You don't get a video banned when it's private. You could literally put I could put a video, and I intend to, of me fucking your skull after I behead you with my lightsaber.
It's funny you think you're gonna outlive me.
I am gonna outlive you. Your stress level. It's through the roof. Your goddamn stress level's through the roof.
I know, daycare is fucking expensive. Holy fuck, it's like another fucking mortgage. Jesus Christ.
What are you talking about?
Daycare. Do you know how fucking much I pay for daycare a month?
No.
It's $1,500. It's not funny.
I know, but
that's a fucking mortgage.
This is just nothing you will hear on any Star Wars podcast.
That's the point. That's what makes us fucking different.
You're complaining about $1,500.
It's a lot of fucking money.
I agree with you. Is this
I can buy a bigger house with that.
No, I know. Is this the platform you want to be talking about?
My only platform.
Let's get on to another story that I enjoy.
Oh, by the way, one of my fraternity brothers who listens to the show regularly, shout out to Justin, said, I listened to your most recent podcast. Anytime you get high quality kielbasa from a butcher in Pittsburgh, he's from Pittsburgh, it's horseshoe shaped like the one you gave Dave.
Oh, God, it was delicious.
It's ShopRite kielbasa.
I ate it. I loved it. I just thought if you're going to give me a horseshoe shaped sausage, then you gotta give me a horseshoe-shaped bun. And if that's the way they make them in fucking Pittsburgh, then they should sell goddamn horseshoe buns.
Maybe that's the $1 million idea. You should develop the patent to make a horseshoe
bun. Hey, Cuban, Davy Mac's horseshoe buns. Get me on fucking Shark Tank. I got a new goddamn idea for you. You know me.
Wedge,
this is right there with Nizzers. And this is right there with the Davy Mac Jack and Ride masturbation chopper. All right? Two of my greater ideas.
Wedge, can you please do Dave as a pitchman? Pitching a horseshoe-shaped bun?
Now, this is a great story. I don't know why it's making the rounds now. I guess some people knew about this. I didn't. Embarrassed to say. Apparently, and you can see if you look at the Yaddle Chattel thumbnail for this episode on YouTube, or actually just the Yaddle Chattel pic that we chose for the social medias and stuff. Look at the bottom right-hand corner, and that is, here, I'll give it to you. And this is the photo of George Lucas. Apparently, this is a true story. That picture comes from the set. George Lucas's original idea for Yoda was to put a weird, freaky old man mask on a monkey. So what you're looking at is...
I don't blame him.
The trainer and the monkey, giving the monkey a piggyback ride, but if you are saying, what the fuck is that? That's the mask. But it's way more... First of all, the monkey mask... I don't know if it's going to show up, but I think it looks like one of the old men from the Muppet Show, the guys who sit in the balcony.
It looks like Heath Ledger's mask when he was robbing the bank in The Dark Knight. Like
there it is.
If you put clown makeup on that'd look like the exact mask.
Right. Yeah, that's the mask. So you saw it there briefly for a second, and again, if you want to check it out, just check out the social medias of Yaddle Channel. At Eastside Dave is where I post that.
Wasn't like the original sketches of Yoda by like Ralph McQuarrie? Like,
I mean, he was thinner, but it looked like Yoda to me.
I thought it always looked like it was supposed to be like an elf. Like it was supposed to look more elfish, and they kind of
like the elf in Harry Potter.
Not a goblin.
No, but remember the little sock guy?
Dobby, yeah.
You're going to the left now, lefty, left leaning. Thank you.
He's a goblin. So goblins and elves are like cousins, if from what I understand. I'm not a big fantasy guy. But like he was supposed to look more like a gnome or an elf. Like you remember that show David the Gnome?
Yeah.
It was more like Yoda looked like that, and they went with more of a like if you look at Yoda here, he kind of looks like a fucking goblin. He's got like the ears.
Yeah, but he has the face. Yeah, but if you look at Yoda's face and then look at the guy who designed the mask, he looks just like the guy.
Well, it was
go watch your ILMs.
Oh yeah, they did that.
Go watch your Light and Magics.
That was
I mean the guy looked at himself in the mirror.
Yeah, and made the
and just drew Yoda as his own face.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Is that one of the worst ideas of all time?
I mean, I don't blame.
Is that worse than midichlorians?
You gotta keep something in mind when George wrote and was like putting this together. Movies with chimpanzees and like media with chimps was like all the rage.
Because of Clint Eastwood.
BJ and the Bear.
A
few years later, Matthew Broderick does that movie Project X.
Oh, right. A lot of monkey movies.
Tony Danza did a movie called like Going Bananas.
Yeah.
There was a lot of like man and chimp movies.
Yeah, that's true.
Happening in that time period. It's the idea of using like a trained chimp, I guess.
You know what the trainer just said? George, the monkey's never going to keep the mask on. He says the mask is going to come off the monkey.
So
the second you start shooting, the monkey's just going to be ripping off the mask.
And then getting pissed off. And
you know what you got to do is let's get a mask for the monkey. And if he tries to take it off, let's just, scotch tape that fucking mask. A million times, or duct tape, or actually of all the things, I mean, gorilla tape. No pun intended, but I made a joke. That's like a little George Lucas line. I don't want no monkey business. That was another one of my jokes. I'm George Lucas. I just, and then maybe
sure,
like we can
give us a solid 5.
And then yeah. Like, hey everybody, what's like what's the deal with X-Wing food? You ever notice they only give you like a small little package of peanuts on an X-Wing? It's like, what's the deal with that? And then it's like, how come George Lucas Live doing George Lucas Comedy Def Jam here? You know what I don't like is it's like, how come you drive on the parkway and you park on the driveway? I don't, golly. I've really, with this whole Yoda deal, I've really thrown a monkey wrench into that one. I'm having lots of monkey business here with Yoda.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Duh. Anyway, I'm George Lucas, and by the way, you ever noticed? Here's a bit I want to do. I am basing it off Michael Richards.
Oh God!
And he did this in California. He's like, you ever noticed when certain people get mad? Certain people get mad at a certain word. Like if I say,
okay, well, you know what, George? Pull the microphone.
Is that
No, don't worry. So I did think that was funny.
But you know what is funny about that is that the original Emperor, like in the original, they
monkey eyes.
They took the director's wife,
put monkey eyes
on her.
That's so weird.
And then I guess
that was the original Emperor. Yeah, makeup and monkey eyes. Makeup and monkey eyes was the whole deal.
And there was someone else's voice. And I think they went back and
they put in Ian McDermott after that. Yeah, because I mean, come on, monkey eyes.
Consistency.
Freak. Yeah, but so George got monkeys in Empire Strikes Back. He was fucking determined.
Look, I don't care if Yoda's not going to be a monkey, but I'm getting the fucking monkeys in the goddamn movie. I like monkeys. You know, there's two damn things I want with every fucking movie. And you know, this is why I had to fire Dykstra before we made Empire. Here's the two things. I want monkeys and I want some goddamn fucking red Jell-O in the goddamn fucking buffet. You know, when craft services puts out the lunch, I've asked them repeatedly now, give me some cherry fucking Jell-O. Every goddamn, you see apples and oranges and all these types of fruits, and you know, with all due respect, you know, Jared's the fruit. I'm George Lucas, and I want some goddamn fucking Jell-O, and I've made $8 billion, and I deserve it. You know, I own Northern California. Give me my fucking Jell-O. I'll have you all fucking killed.
I believe that.
So, and then real quick before emails, John Hamm will be voicing Boba Fett in the books. Remember we were talking about they put out a new anthology of a certain point of view.
Oh,
and it's like a few.
That was the really depressing Dexter Jettster.
Yeah.
He's gonna kill himself, hang himself.
Dexter Jettster's diner fucking went out of business, and his droid waitress shut down, and it was pretty much like he was gonna hang himself.
I was like,
the most depressing short story in Star Wars history.
I was thinking about that, and like, wouldn't it make sense that like if he was originally in arms, that he went back and became like an arms dealer again, like avenge his friends? That I don't know.
You'd think
that would make way better of a story.
It makes too much sense. Okay, so John Hamm. But I will say this: this is bringing up, and we'll hit this quick and then get into Ahsoka. This is bringing up an interesting point. With Tamora Morrison now having to play, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot of Tamora Morrison in the continued Star Wars series. I think we're going to be seeing him do Rex, and I think we're going to be seeing him do other clone troopers and stuff.
Like, we don't have no idea what happened to Cody either.
So, looking back on it, you know I'm a fan of Book of Boba Fett, so I don't want no shit.
I like Book of Boba Fett too.
Looking back on it, should they have recast Boba Fett? Like, I know, I get it. The goddamn Boba is Jango's, fucking clone kid. He's gonna look just like Jango. I get it. Ah! Maybe we didn't have to ever take his helmet off, and we could have had John Hamm in the first place. This is my point. I love Book of Boba Fett, but did taking the mask off fuck something up, which is they could have cast whoever they want, and we could have saved Tamora Morrison for all the clones and Rex.
No, because they could eventually actually use the kid that played Boba Fett, like little Boba Fett. He's a grown-ass man. So you know how we talked about how a second series of the Book of Boba Fett would fit.
Can I give my idea real quick? I haven't given it a long time.
Okay.
Disney Plus, Lucasfilm, Star Wars. I haven't given this to you in a long time, and channel heads, I'll try to do it quickly if you've listened to every single episode. But they always say you get new listeners each and every week. So I want this to be out there. I want everyone to tell Kathleen Kennedy, I have your second season of Book of Boba Fett written. Done. It's over. It's phenomenal. The one criticism of Boba Fett that I kept hearing over and over and over again was he's not an ass kicker enough. That he's not the tough, vintage, ruthless, cold-hearted Boba Fett. They wanted the vintage Boba Fett. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give it to you. Since they've established the precedent of flashbacks, here's what the season 2 of Book of Boba Fett is going to be. Boba Fett is now the #1 mob boss like the Corleones. But like the Corleones, a la Godfather 1, the rest of the families in Tatooine will fucking band together and try and take them out. You're going even more left, brother. I'm not trying to be on your case.
Oh, no, I was just I grabbed my water.
Okay,
that's
scoot
fine.
then to the right. Thank you. That's crazy. But here's the deal. So Boba Fett, basically he's the mob boss. He's Michael Corleone or Vito. The other families are trying to get rid of him. This makes Boba remember when he used to be the Luca Brasi for Jabba the Hutt. So while current day Boba Fett with his new crew, Chris Stanton, all those people are gonna try and outthink 4 families, in the mob, in present day Star Wars, we flash back to when a similar situation happened to Jabba the Hutt. A bunch of families banded together to kill him. And we're going to say this is about a year before the events of New Hope. So we're as close to the original trilogy in Boba as possible.
You can even go even further back.
I don't want to. I want original trilogy Boba Fett, dickwad. Don't change my fucking shit. Because my shit works.
Okay.
No, I want a New Hope version or Empire Strikes Back, so we're going to have it right before.
Okay.
So while these other families are trying to kill Jabba, Jabba says, Boba, go out there, take him out. And Boba goes out, and so the people who wanted the vintage Boba Fett, boom, you get that in the flashbacks. Flashbacks will be just as important this season because then Boba's going to go around killing all these motherfuckers in a badass way. It's going to be amazing. Meanwhile, the current day story will be cool because it'll be Boba Fett, mob boss, taking out other mob guys. You get the best of both worlds, Daddy. That's a fucking good idea. That's season 2. I got a million ideas, Lucasfilm Disney. Why don't you contact me? Because some of your ideas suck. Now, can we get into Ahsoka Tano?
Oh, I thought we were going to do the email.
Emails, please.
Okay. First one is from Tom Cody.
Love Tom Cody.
Hey, Jedi Jared, can you believe it? The Mandalorian is getting released on 4K and Blu-ray.
Excellent.
As a result of this great news, I'd like to award the following points to people below. Mr. Champion gets 200,063 points.
Deserved. That's me, by the way. Darth David is Mr. Champion. That's me. That's just a nickname I have. For myself, but still, I mean, he's using it.
Jedi Jared gets plus 264,000. If Mr. Champion objects, minus 1,000 points for Mr. Champion. It says it right there.
What?
Kevin Flynn plus 200,000. Sid Stanley 500,000, 500,000. Joe Dallas gets 200,000.
Wow.
And Tom Cody's giving himself 100,000.
Big points. Is this Christmas? Or for Jared's sake, is this Hanukkah?
Hanukkah in August.
Because, my lordy, hundreds of thousands of points were distributed there.
Now, we've got some other controversies and other emails.
All right, bring it. And thank you, Tom Cody. Great email as always. All right, who's this from?
This is from a regular listener, and I think he's a subscriber as well.
AJ.
Darth David should get minus 500 points for that wretched Harry Callis impression. Kudos, though, for referencing Juan Samuel.
Juan Samuel.
Always, fellas.
He just pronounced him Juan Samuel. It's Juan Samuel. Okay. I know. That was, hey, listen, when you do things off the cuff because you're a fucking ADD freakazoid, not every voice is going to be a winner. Hold on. I'll try again. Here comes to the plate Juan Samuel. I'm Harry Callis. That's a little better. 1-2 pitch to Von Hayes. High fly ball to right field, and she is gone. A 2-run home run for Von Hayes. Yeah, maybe I'm doing a Vince Scully.
Yeah,
maybe I'm doing Vince Scully. It doesn't sound like Harry Callis.
It's a very
Harry Callis is hard to do.
It's a very good Vince Scully impression.
Thank you.
It is.
Plus 1 point.
Thank you, Mr. Champion.
Ahsoka Tano.
All right,
enough.
Let's get
enough of the bullshit.
Okay.
Let's try to go in chronological order if possible. We're not going to hit every goddamn scene.
Okay.
I just want to see if we can try. For instance, I want to start off with the fact that, okay, right off the bat, I loved something. Crawl. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Different style, too. I think it's because people get intimidated by the yellow, crawl. So different style, instead of kind of going like that, up and down, red. Yes, sir. Love it. Thought it was a wonderful choice by Dave Filoni. Would love to see more of that kind of thing.
I think that's only, for him. You know what I mean? He's supposed to be the heir apparent. He is supposed to be the one continuing.
Well, we've seen paragraphs before movies. We saw a paragraph before Solo. But it was more of just, wasn't it a black screen, white text?
If anyone was going to get that, it was going to be George's buddy.
Ron Howard.
Ron Howard.
So these are all only people that George are allowed to get, print on screen. What did you think about the crawl?
That was great.
Did you like it?
Yes.
I that actually got me juice. Like I actually got excited. I was like, this is good shit. And also right into the music, which was dark and foreboding. Ship. Loved the we're going classic kind of New Hope type of beginning with the ship.
You get the scale and scope of what you're going into.
Now, and we get right into it. The two new Sith Jedi.
You know what? I'm glad you kind of brought that up. There's always been something that a lot of the fans have talked about. It's always been in the extended universe, and I think this is the first time we're actually seeing it. The Gray Jedi.
Gray Jedi.
I think that they're not actually Sith.
Okay.
They're not Jedi.
Yeah.
They are.
I think I agree.
They are. So if Ahsoka is if the Jedi are right here, and
Jedi's
the
practically
Sith is here,
Ahsoka's practically gray, but she will go more to the light.
She's Jedi adjacent,
and they're gray Sith
adjacent.
Okay, I like it. But do you like the orange lightsaber?
Yes,
you do.
Well, A, orange is my favorite color.
Okay.
B, I think
it's not popping for me as much as a red one would be, but I understand that they're gray. They're obviously something.
Because they're not not wearing all black. They're wearing darker Jedi robes.
Almost Luke Skywalker. Skull is almost looking like Luke Skywalker Return of the Jedi, who everyone thinks was wearing black, but it was actually extremely dark brown. Like dark brown, that on screen it often looked black.
Yes.
All right, so you like the orange.
Yes.
The only reason why I'm just saying is because red is it's just a stronger color. Did you know that they actually did a fucking, this is a weird aside, but I'm gonna give it to you anyway.
Okay.
They did a poll online of the three major American sports, baseball, basketball, and football.
Yeah. And
they found out that the teams that have red in their jersey are the teams that are most likely to win a championship. On a year in and year out basis, it's a team that is red. The point is,
what's the Washington Commanders' excuse then?
Well, they almost have more brown and yellow on their uniforms than red. It's not like they're the Chiefs or the Niners. Look at their things. They're not wearing red, even though they were called the name. Point being, I don't fucking care about football that much, asshole. Point being that the red, I do, but this isn't the Davey Max Sports Program.
I know, I'm just busting balls.
I know, Quibbler, but just let me get through my train of thought.
Okay.
Red is stronger. I felt that while I understand what Dave Filoni's going for and what the show's going for with the orange, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know if it has what they are going for. I almost would have preferred if they had white lightsabers like Ahsoka. And that maybe white lightsabers are the
neutral color.
Great neutral color.
I think that they clearly want power. They clearly are willing to work with not necessarily good actors, bad actors. They want to they'll work for the bad guys. But I think that the reason why they don't have our red lightsabers is because maybe there's a line they won't cross. Like maybe they won't kill a bunch of children, a school of children, if you will.
Right.
Because
like some people we know.
If you notice, they didn't use Sith powers. We haven't really, they kind of did Force Choke, but Force Choke could be like just using Force Pull and Push and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They used basically the Jedi powers. We didn't see their eyes weren't
messed up,
like yellow.
True.
So I don't think they've necessarily taken the complete trip down the dark side. I think they walk the line, but they walk the line closer to the Sith. And I think the whole point of
Do you like these characters?
Oh yeah, I like Ray Stevenson. I think he's a great actor. Rip F.
I know. Very sad. I didn't even know that he was the guy in the Thor movies.
Yeah, he was in Rome.
I know. You love Rome so much.
I love John Millis.
Jesus Christ. All right. So then we go from there, right? They kill a bunch of rebels and shit like this. What's the next thing? The next thing we see is that the no. The next thing we see is Ahsoka.
Well, it's a prison break, right? They break her
Yeah.
out.
They break the lady out.
Now we
Morgan
Lisbeth.
Lisbeth, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always want to call her Morgan Elizabeth. I bet you that was named after someone's aunt or something like that. I don't know. There's something going on.
No, I think it's supposed to be like Morgan Le Fay from King Arthur.
Where do you get Le Fay with Esbeth?
Lisbeth. I think it's just a play on it.
All right, fine. Go ahead.
Well, because we find out what she actually is, which is a nod back to
She's a witch.
She's a night sister of.
She's a witch.
Of Dothmere.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Yeah, because she wasn't green or white.
That's a good point. She was not. Yeah. Well, no, they're green, right? Aren't they all green?
Well, there's the women, the females.
Oh,
I think are all white. No, they're white. They're like pale white skin because Ventress.
Oh, right,
Ventress was a night sister.
But they're not regular looking people. Is the point?
No, they're not. They're not humans.
They're humanoid, but they've got
they're not
white
Luke
and
Skywalker
purple.
or Han Solo.
Right. It's hard to describe
because they come from the same planet that Darth Maul and his brother.
So I was surprised by that. Is she in disguise, or are they just gonna say, "Hey, fuck it, she's one of these people with no red and purple, fucking stripes all over her"? Is that what's gonna happen there?
Or maybe she's just been putting on like using her powers to disguise herself.
And that's a possibility. You can
more
absolutely do that. I got no issues with that. We've seen changelings before in Star Wars: Attack of the Clones. So, if she's trying to, get a more regular, shall we say, human facade, I get that.
Which was an interesting twist because they typically are force
sensitive.
Force sensitive. They have a different kind.
Well, maybe this is why she was able to hold her own a little bit against Ahsoka in the Mandalorian episode where they fought.
Yeah.
I don't know. The next one was so then they go to the planet there. Lothal, right?
Yes.
Well, we saw Ahsoka for a little bit. I forget if we saw Ahsoka before the presentation or afterwards. But Ahsoka, she's got to get the map, the little ball.
We see her first because then we get to see Hera.
What do you think about that little ball map thing?
Oh, I thought it was going to be originally I thought it was going to be a Jedi temple because that's a big thing in Rebels.
I'm not going to let it destroy the show for me. But after Guardians of the Galaxy and The Force Awakens. About maps and filling in maps, and then the Guardians of the Galaxy, the whole thing was that fucking sphere that, quite frankly, looked exactly like this thing. The thing, remember, at the beginning of the movie, that Star-Lord goes afterward.
Yeah.
Even the area where she got that little sphere sort of reminded me of the beginning of Guardians, the first one where Star-Lord gets that sphere.
Remember, James Gunn was heavily influenced by Star Wars.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. The fucking sphere didn't exist in Star Wars. Star Wars is now ripping off James Gunn.
Well, it goes back and forth and all that stuff.
And they're ripping off Star Wars. But it's a lot of mappage. I'm a flower delivery guy. Not anymore, believe it or not. I've been on the radio for 20 years. But in my early 20s, one of my little jobs was being a flower delivery guy. And it was a very source of pride, and still is, that I can read any map, basically in America, and get you there. If everyone's fucking phones go off and your GPS and everyone's going to be all upset and shit like that, I'll get you there. Give me an atlas, daddy. I knew how to get to every fucking location in New Jersey in 15 minutes, even places that are 3 hours away, because of my map reading ability. So I like maps in general. There's a lot of map, though. A lot of mappage.
Well, it's a big
Skywalker map. This map over here.
It's a big galaxy. Okay. Originally, I thought it was gonna be a holocron, but it turned out to be it was actually a Night Sister temple.
That's what it was?
That's what it was supposed to be.
Okay.
And
see, I didn't know that. Yeah. I thought it was like a Jedi thing. I thought it was a Jedi temple.
No, I think it was a Night Sister temple. I think that's what they mentioned.
Well, because they looked like Jedis. Those sculptures all had the Jedi hoods and stuff.
It looked very ancient, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I was seeing more Jedi on the wall with the sculptures.
I thought it was a Jedi thing, but I don't. I think it's more.
It's the Sith. Are you sure about that?
Well,
not Sith. It's
the Night Sisters.
Night Sisters. I love what's his face, Clancy Brown. Finally, we get to him.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was the voice of the governor on.
He's
Rebels.
the guy. He's in Rebels. And they just basically took him from Rebels and put him right on the goddamn show. And because I did my homework, by the way, I'm noticing you're wearing a Star Wars shirt. Can we see that, please? Because at first, could you stand up and display it to the audience? Because at first, I actually thought that was a Star Wars Rebels shirt. Hold on, I didn't see it. But now I'm looking at it, and it's a New Hope shirt. But I almost wonder if it's a New Hope shirt that's designed to look like Star Wars Rebels. Because as someone who is familiar with the original Star Wars Rebels poster, that looks like it.
It might have
just
been
so you know.
I don't know.
It's interesting, though, to me. Okay. So here's one thing I loved, okay? I'm going to be straight with you. This wasn't 100% Davey Mac Love Fest, but I enjoyed it and am going to keep going. And I still have a lot of enthusiasm and good feelings for it. I'll give you something I loved. I love the introduction of Sabine. This is the modern Star Wars that I can get into. We saw snippets of this type of shit on Andor. Now we're seeing it here. I love the rock and roll. I loved her listening to the headphones. I love the speed of the ship. I love the way the sequence felt. Action, loud. You know, think about it. When's the last time you just talked about loudness with Star Wars? My mom used to always talk about the fact that the original 1977 Star Wars, which she saw with my 3 older brothers, but with me in her belly, Darth David was just a little tiny baby. A little evil fetus. Sometimes I would shoot my lightning at my mom. At her own, organs and shit. Just to fuck with her. That's what Sith fetuses do.
Okay.
Just fuck with her a little bit.
Okay.
You should see how I tied some of her tubes together.
Is that why there were no other McDonald's children after you?
That's why, baby. I was the last. Hey, listen, I couldn't have a fucking rival. Can you imagine if I had a younger brother? The amount of fucking fights that I would get into with that fucking poor son of a bitch.
What would have happened if your mom and dad said fuck it and they ended up actually having a girl? So it's 4 boys and a girl.
With me having a younger daughter?
Like, no,
I mean younger sister?
Yeah, like
I still would have gotten into massive fights with my younger sibling, no matter who they were. I just know myself. I needed to be the last. I needed to be the chosen one, the child.
Like a friend of the show, Sean Barry. He's got like 4 boys and a girl, right?
Uh-huh.
Shout out, Sean-O.
Sean-O!
We love you.
Sean-O Super Sperm Barry. God bless you. His wife,
I remember when
she had the operation and he had another kid on top of it.
I remember the announcement.
And they're a solid together,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's got super sperm. He's got some fucking Jedi sperm, that guy. So I thought this was good. See, now this is the type of shit I want to see more of going forward. Episodes 3 through 8. I needed to see noise. Just as my mom was saying that Star Wars is the loudest movie of all time. That's like a good thing. It's like the noise, the loud, the energy. Pump it up. Sometimes I feel like these Disney Plus series, not Andor, but some of the other ones, they sometimes, when they're not, totally fucking hitting their marks is what I'm saying. They're just strolling through the galaxy. Just taking a nice walk. Fuck that. Put on fucking rock and roll. Get on a speeder. Go 200 miles an hour. Let's get some juice in this thing. That Sabine fucking introduction was excellent.
It was. It had a very...
I gotta get a water. But now, see, I'm actually fired up.
It sounded a lot like if Queens of the Stone Age, like Josh Homme, wrote like a Japanese punk song.
So I looked it up. I looked it up, and it was co-written by
The guy who writes all the music, I always forget his name. I shouldn't do
Kiner?
anymore. Yeah, well, Kevin Kiner's one of the co-writers, but actually the guy who does the Mandalorian, the Swedish name or whatever.
Okay.
The Norwegian, what's his name again? Johansson or something. I forget. I really must memorize that guy's name. It's embarrassing because I actually love his compositions and literally, here, you know what? You fucking say something for a change because I'm going to fucking look it up.
I liked it a lot.
Song was great.
It was great.
It was co-written, though, by Kevin Kiner and by that Ludwig Göransson. Ludwig! You ever see that Saturday Night Live sketch?
Which one?
Where John Belushi plays Ludwig van Beethoven?
No.
Oh, come on, man. Good shit.
There's
shit.
so many classics.
Gilda Radner. Ludwig! Anyway, here is the point. That's a Filoni, Kevin Kiner type of thing that I am into. Let's stay in that direction. If Andor is the show for, Star Wars fans like myself who want something a little bit more adult and a little bit gritty, which is cool, then we can go the opposite way with Ahsoka and go fresh, exciting, colorful, bouncing around.
Well, I think
that's what they have to do, though, because Andor is fascinating, but it's heavy on the dialogue. But the writing is brilliant. The visuals are brilliant. The storytelling is brilliant. So, as a result, we're cool with the fact that the pace is slower. But it is slower. But we're cool with it because the quality's so great.
because it's high drama.
And yeah, high drama, high quality. With this needs to be rockin' sockin'. Let's fucking go here.
That was always Sabine's thing. She was the explosive. She was the graffiti artist, kind of punkish explosion expert. That was her thing. She was the demolitions person in the what is it?
Demolitions, she's their Echo.
Yeah.
She's their fucking technology whiz. She can make everything and she's great with explosives. I agree with you.
That was her thing.
Yeah. So I loved that. Okay, where do we go from there?
She's back at Ezra's. It's technically Ezra's house.
Yeah, it is Ezra's place.
So she's living in Ezra's kind of shadow almost. Like, she's got a lot of guilt because Ezra was sacrificed himself at the end of Rebels, if you haven't seen that, to get rid of Thrawn.
Yeah, go check out. Like I told people, you don't have to watch all this shit. Honestly, if you want the shortcut, here's what you do. You watch I think you watch the last 2 episodes of Tales from the Jedi. You then watch the last 4 episodes of Season 5 of Clone Wars, last 4 episodes of Season 7 of Clone Wars, and then watch the last 3 episodes of Rebels, and then watch Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 5. I think that is the minimum you can watch, I think.
There's one episode you didn't mention.
What?
I forgot what season.
Book of Boba Fett?
No, it's in Rebels, the episode with Darth Maul and Vader. They got to watch that episode.
In Rebels?
In Rebels.
Dude, there's no Darth Maul and Vader. There's Darth Maul and Obi-Wan.
No, there is that episode where Darth Maul is trying to seduce Ezra to the dark side as his apprentice.
Oh yeah, but they didn't. Darth Maul and Vader didn't confront each other.
No. At that point,
they happened to be in the same episode.
Yeah,
I get it. Okay.
Well, they were at the same place.
All right.
But you got to see that.
I misinterpreted. That's yeah. Go
you
go
referenced
check
that
out
episode earlier.
Yes, go check that out. That's season 2.
Okay.
Right?
I didn't remember what season it was.
I believe that's the last couple episodes of season. Watch the last 2 episodes of Rebels season 2. I believe those are the episodes Jared is referring to. Then we get to meet Hera. What do you think about her? In real life, Ewan McGregor's wife?
Yes.
What's her name? Mary Elizabeth Winstead?
Yes.
What do you think about her?
I thought she was fine.
Fine?
We got to see Chopper. That's what I was really excited
Did you think Hera was a little bland? I thought she was a little bland, and I didn't feel she was as sunny as Hera. Here's the one thing I'm allowing myself to, this is why I'm not panicking, and this is why I'm not going to judge or jump off the building. You got to keep in mind, and I am too, they've been through a fucking war.
She lost her husband.
Right, and they've been through a fucking war. This is 5 years after New Hope, Empire, Return of the Jedi. So smiling, happy, sunny Hera, she might not exist that much. Or she's still a great person, maybe, but she's been through hell. But still, I thought I'd like to see a little more spark out of her. I'd like to see a little more spark out of Hera. This is what I mean with the Star Wars Rebels characters. Everyone, except for Sabine, and maybe Skull. To me, everyone needs to pump it up a little bit. Did you think, or am I being oversensitive? You're allowed to tell me.
No, I think this is going to be a slow build.
But they're right. But they're being a little too slow, too casual, too laid back, too soft spoken. Like, I need to see people arguing.
Well, remember, some of these people, like you just said, they've kind of been through the ringer. I mean, Ahsoka's basically been wandering the galaxy for 20 years.
Listen, between me and you, do they need to tell us where Ahsoka Tano was in the original trilogy? Because I think that is extremely important now. You can't run away from the fact that Ahsoka was missing for episodes 4, 5, and 6. You must have a reason why she wasn't there. See, it almost would have been smarter if, I hate to say it, this show took place immediately after episode 4. And I don't know why they've put, or immediately after season 4 of Star Wars Rebels. I don't think they needed to put this in the Mando timeline. Because if that was the case, you could easily make the point that Ahsoka has traveled to get the reason why she's not in the galaxy. She literally isn't there. She's in the world between worlds. Somehow she and Ezra and Skull and a few others are stuck in that galaxy between galaxies. So she's literally disappeared out of the galaxy. But we can't do that now. Because this is in the Mando timeline. They might have fucked themselves up with that.
I don't know.
If this is going to be a true blue Rebels sequel, which, despite what they're saying, it is. They can fucking tell everyone in the press. You don't have to have seen... Folks, they're lying to you. You do. You have to have seen this shit. You're not going to enjoy it as much. I'm letting you know. I've given you the secret. Episodes 1 and 2, Tales of the Jedi. Final 4 episodes, Season 5 of Clone Wars. Final 4 episodes of Season 7 of Clone Wars. Jared wants you to watch the final 2 episodes of Season 2 of Rebels. I'm good with that. I also say final 4 episodes of Season 4 of Rebels. And then watch Mando. And, watch Mando Season 2, Episode 5. If you want to watch the Book of Boba Fett, Episode 6, is it?
6 or 7.
I think it's 6 is where Ahsoka makes a thing. But I actually didn't think that's that. No. That doesn't feel that important to this series, but you might as well. It's not that long. But think about that for a second. They have to do that, right?
I think that they're going to explain it. There'll be an explanation.
I don't want a throwaway, dude. The way you're making me nervous, like no, she's gonna. I don't want a throwaway fucking explanation. I need something important and powerful.
I don't think there's gonna be a throwaway explanation.
All right.
I think they are when Ezra defeats Thrawn. They're at the precipice of Rogue One, of Episode 4. It's like right before full-blown war. You know, the Palpatine dissolves the Imperial Senate.
Oh, no, that is what that is the timeline.
I feel like
Ezra disappeared right before Rogue One. Absolutely.
So you got to think that they pause fighting Ezra and Thrawn because now they're in full-blown civil war. So now everyone's got to do their part to fight.
Well, we better find her that she was locked away in some jail or some shit. I don't know what. She got frozen in carbonite. But if they had just thought for a second, I think they should have probably started this. This should be during New Hope era, not during 5 years after Return of the Jedi in the Mandoverse era. That's just my thing. I think it would have been easier. I think it would have been better. You also could have had Ahsoka Tano and Darth Vader matchups. Think about it. They might have fucked up. But that's okay. I'm still optimistic. These are just some of the things. I told you. I'll always be honest here. What else do we got for episode 1? We got to get into episode 2. I mean, there was great fights. There was great shit. We got confrontations. And then at the end of the episode...
Well, it's revealed that Sabine at one point was... See, that's something else.
Okay, is she force sensitive?
I don't think so.
Is Sabine force sensitive?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
But I think that's another thing that this just occurred to me. Ahsoka training Sabine must have happened during the Galactic Civil War.
Right. So that's a little selfish. Like, you know what? I left the Jedi Order, so I got nothing to do with that. Oh, that's good. But you're okay with them millions of people getting murdered by the Empire.
I think they were fighting, but I also think that she was training her too. So we didn't really see Sabine use any powers, and Huang basically says, like, you're one of the worst Jedis. As far as your skills go, you're not really that.
And that droid
great.
was funny. I liked him.
David Tennant.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
That was the guy who did the voice on the show.
On the show as well. So they have great battles. I thought there were some good battles. All right, let's get to an uncomfortable, little bit of an uncomfortable topic. The lightsabers.
Oh, okay.
The lightsabers don't look good. We brought this up last week on the show, and we're not taking credit. We are giving it to, I think it was on Screen Rant, that said that the reason why the lightsabers on Disney Plus look different is because even in the Disney movies, just like all of the George movies, they totally create the lightsaber with digital. Now they have on-set lightsabers like this, the one I'm holding right now in my hands, for the people watching Yal Channel on YouTube, Eastside Dave TV. And they are enhancing the existing practical lightsaber with, some digital saturation and shit like that. But that's what it is. Go to your camera and go into like saturation and oversaturate something, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It doesn't have the same look as the movie lightsabers. And I will say, they don't look as cool. They don't. I'm not going to go into... we just talked about Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon. We're not going to talk about it for 8 fucking seconds. But people noticed there was a very split second where there was someone flicking around what looked like a kind of like a lightsaber type deal. And it instantly looked way better than the Disney Plus lightsabers. It instantly looked better because it looked otherworldly, transcendent. This is the bottom line. The lightsaber is the greatest weapon in cinema history. It's the most unique. It's the most original. It's the most talked about. It's the most fucking copied. It's the greatest weapon in movie history. Do not fuck this up anymore.
Did you know
You gotta go back and start replacing these practical fucking lightsabers, because if their lightsabers in a $50 million fucking Disney Plus show looks as good as the goddamn lightsaber I bought at Disney World, we got a problem. My lightsaber shouldn't look as good as a fucking $50 million movie or series. Get your shit together. Get the lightsabers working again, folks. Because guess what? I can tell. That fucking article killed me.
Honestly,
That Screen Rant article killed me because now I can't not see it. And I have to tell you, it is upsetting me. But also, it's not just because of Screen Rant. It's something that I felt. I've been feeling for a while now. It's just that kind of brought it out of me. Go ahead.
I like it.
You like a more realistic, because that's what it is. They're going, I guess, for a more realistic looking lightsaber. But it's not as cool.
Correct me if I'm wrong. In like the the sequel trilogy, did it have the kind of light up shadow that you saw like in that battle, the final battle in Obi-Wan, where it was a very dark place and the only thing actually
Obi-Wan used the practical lightsabers.
Yeah, but what I thought was really cool was the light that came off of the lightsaber.
Bro, no issues with that. Use those practical lightsabers for shooting. But then after that, go in and completely erase the fucking blade and or you don't have to erase it. Just put in a total lightsaber, digitally made fucking look on top of that. George did it. And that's what made lightsabers look special, because they don't, it almost is like, how is this even possible? How is a light able to go up? Like, it just looks so cool. Whereas this just looks like a stick that's lit up.
So
there's a big difference. It doesn't look like a laser sword. You know how anyone mocks Star Wars? Their first thing is, you take your laser sword. The Disney Plus things don't look like laser swords. As a kid, I fucking loved that it was a laser sword. And these things just look like, like I said, swords that happen to glow. They basically look like fucking real life swords that happen to light up, that glow.
I think that's the point.
That's not good, Jared. You're taking something that's perfect. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is the fucking mentality, though, Jared, that we have an issue with Disney Star Wars sometimes, is they take fantastic existing shit and change it for no fucking reason. No one was asking for a fucking more realistic lightsaber. You're taking the coolness away from it.
I think that's probably there is a reason for it. Probably save fucking money.
Cheap.
That's
why.
It's these shows are each cost about
give a shit.
A Star Wars
don't have
movie.
Lightsabers in the fucking show. I don't want to see shitty lightsabers anymore. Seriously.
We got that with Andor.
All right, let me get the
right?
Yeah.
We did.
What?
They spent $200 million on Andor. We got 12 episodes and no fucking lightsabers.
Perfect. And Andor is still maybe the most impressive visually looking show on Disney Plus. The most that feels like a movie as opposed to a TV series.
Because they didn't film it in that
volume.
In the volume.
Here's the other thing. When you're gonna have a cliffhanger, so let's go into the season episode 2. When you're gonna have a cliffhanger, dude, did you ever fucking watch a TV show ever? Sabine gets shot. No, I'm sorry, not shot. She gets we have another case of a lightsaber going through someone's fucking chest.
Non-lethal.
Folks, if any person gets a spear through your chest, 9 times out of 10, you're dead. It doesn't have to hit your heart. If a full-on spear goes through your fucking chest, you're dead. Now imagine if that spear was on fire. I don't know how everyone's surviving all these fucking through the chest things. But regardless.
Well, the whole thing with the.
Well, hold on. I got something. I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay.
Regardless, that's how that's how they ended episode 1. And they do a big cliffhanger. Oh my God, is Sabine dead? Is that going to be like the surprise twist? They start episode 2 with Sabine in the bed. Totally fine!
That's her Jedi powers.
You don't have a cliffhanger where the character's life is hanging in the balance. And then the very next episode, they're totally fine. That next episode needs to at least, at the minimum, have them fighting for their life in the hospital bed. And maybe, stupid, that's where you have a flashback of Sabine and some of her fucking struggles and or some of her experiences with Ezra and or Hera. While she's in the fucking hospital or a bacta tank. I know it's, like Boba Fett, but you know what I'm saying. She's fucking, she's got tubes all over her place. She's gonna die. Get the medicine into her. That kind of shit. ER. And then, Ahsoka, you okay? Ahsoka, wake up. Don't leave us, Ahsoka. Her eyes are flickering. And we go into her head. And we have some cool flashbacks. And that's where we can even do a montage of Star Wars Rebels important moments, but we redo it in live action.
I think.
What the fuck?
That's actually a very good idea.
I know! Disney, if you can't do this, hire me. Originally, I was joking. I no longer am. Because you're making really dumb decisions sometimes. Again, I'm positive about Ahsoka. But that's what we saw between episodes 1 and 2 is the single worst cliffhanger ever. Because you can't have a cliffhanger where it's dread, fear, and literally, especially because they had a 2-hour premiere, I go into next episode, and next episode she's literally sitting up in bed. Like sitting up even. She's not even laying down. She's sitting up like things are fine. There's no tubes hooked to her. It's like she's just had a nice little rest. Sabine got stabbed in the fucking chest with a lightsaber, and she's just having a nice little rest. Bad storytelling. Hire me then.
That's an animated thing.
Golly. No, but I mean, you see what I'm saying?
But isn't that an animated thing, though?
But they had every opportunity in the world to do something with that cliffhanger, and they did literally nothing with it. It was actually embarrassing to me. I'm like, oh my God. Like, okay, Sopranos. Christopher Moltisanti gets shot. We have an entire episode, if not 2.
Where he's in a coma.
He's in the fucking coma. They're visiting him in the hospital bed. This and that. God damn you.
We'll look into it. She's like, I want him dead.
What else? Because we're going so long here. What else? All right.
Well, it's a big deal. It's the Ahsoka premiere.
So what else do you want to talk about with episode 2? What else did we see? We saw then Sabine's just fine. She cut her hair.
Yeah, she went back to the classic Sabine look in Rebels.
Right? There was
that little guy who's in everything. They track it to Corellia. Han Solo.
Yeah!
Han Solo's.
Was that interesting that they chose Corellia?
Well, because...
Or is there any meaning of the fact that they went to Corellia?
Yeah, because they say it in the show that it was supposed to be the shipyard of the Empire, which makes sense because in Solo...
It's the shipyard of the Empire.
It's the shipyard, so they're keeping it consistent. That, there are certain planets that are, like, because of the resources or whatever it is, are, like, certain designations.
I had no issues with this. Sort of reminded me of the Mando Season 3 with Christopher Lloyd sequence. But no issues with that, because even though they did that kind of thing in the Mando Season 3, that would happen in life. That's realistic. There'd be people who, even if it was the worst fucking dictatorship in the world, you're always going to have holdovers who would be like, hey, that guy wasn't so bad.
So, Morgan's family was, like, very much, like, built, like, they made a fortune building stuff for the Empire.
Okay, so war profiteers.
They're war profit, yeah. This was like one of her former plants, I guess, where they were building a hyperdrive for this ship that's going to go. I think it's actually like something like Mortis.
Right.
I think we're going to see.
Well, it's going to be a galaxy that we have never been to before. I'm imagining. She drew the diagram for us, and that was helpful. The circles. And then right in the spot in between, that's where we gotta go. Okay, that's good. I like that. Hey, by the way, that mountaintop that you had Morgan and Skull, and what's Skull's blonde lady's name? What's her friend?
I don't remember.
They barely said her name, folks, so don't get mad at me. I can't, remember names if you're not gonna tell, no one's gonna mention them out loud. Is that I think they have a mountaintop set in the volume. That is starting. That looks like the same place in Mando Season 3, where they were on top of the mountain in Mandalore. It looks like the same place in Mandalorian Season 2, where Yoda had to go on those rocks and talk to a Jedi. It looks like
it's a reused set.
They gotta stop using that.
You mean they built it? Now they're gonna. It's an asset.
It looks like the exact same place each and every time.
They're just gonna put a different paint job on it.
But it looks like the same place. I go, they're at the volume mountaintop set again.
That's how this works now. That's how they.
But it's obvious. Just don't do it. I'd rather have the meeting on a ship. I'd rather have the meeting anywhere.
Well, I think the whole point was to denote that this is a special place, but that's neither
It's
here
the
nor there.
same mountaintop set every time.
We've got to wrap this up now. I've got to take a production call meeting in 10 minutes. For your other show, Tales from the Satellite.
The production meeting is for my show.
Yes.
You're doing a show with me now.
Yes.
You're telling me I have to wrap up because of a production show.
We're just crossing an hour and 30.
Because we're doing
big
David Max
episode.
Tales from the Satellites. We're keeping them fresh. It's going to be another meeting about what the next episode is. That's so funny. No, this is a good episode. Hour and a half. I didn't think so either.
This long either.
Give me some thoughts. Give me some Jedi Jared thoughts before we wrap up and look forward to the Ahsoka season.
I don't think it was like what a lot of people were expecting. I guess they were expecting like something like The Mandalorian or the Book of Boba Fett or Obi-Wan, and this is something different.
It is.
I think this is gonna be a slow build, and I trust Dave Filoni.
Let's not make it too slow. Is all I'm saying. Let's not make it too slow. We don't need. We've had enough slow in Star Wars, is my point. Let's not make everything else to be slow and slow build. We can get right into the action and popcorn and fun.
I think Dave Filoni, I trust him.
I do too.
I think it's going to be great. And as soon as we see Thrawn, a live-action Thrawn, or a live-action Ezra, everything's going to change.
Agreed. Ultimately, this may surprise you, but I actually am giving these 2 episodes a thumbs up. I just have these quibbles are actually, something. They're legit. They're legit annoyances that I have an issue with. The lightsabers do need to change. That to me seems like an easy fix. I'm sorry. I literally have a camera app that before I got this fucking lightsaber, I have a camera app that I can hold this lightsaber, but then get the fucking blade to look like the actual Star Wars blade, and it looks better than what is currently being shown on Disney Plus. And I thought that the cliffhanger was really terribly executed, and they lost a moment where they could have done some very cool shit. If Sabine is in the fucking hospital, fighting for her life, that's the perfect moment to do Sabine flashbacks, and they totally blew that opportunity. I can't believe it. But I liked Ahsoka. Rosario Dawson's excellent. I thought Skull is the best part of the show. Yep. I thought Sabine is maybe the second best part of the show. I can't believe I'm saying this. She was not my favorite character on Rebels. But Sabine feels like they're giving her energy and they're packing a punch, and that's what I want out of this show. I want fucking energy. And overall, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and we got 6 episodes left.
2 9 thumbs up.
Yeah, I'm giving it 2 9 thumbs up. Gotta keep the momentum positive, though. We gotta keep we just gotta pick up the pace a little bit.
Okay.
If they do, I'll be okay. But there's no reason why Yaddle Chattel should bring twice the energy of a fucking $100 million fucking Star Wars property. And, if we're getting this excited to be fucking talking about Star Wars and debating about Star Wars and talking about Ahsoka, you gotta match our enthusiasm. And you gotta bring some excitement too.
I've got a cage match.
I thought you had to leave. I thought you had to leave for this meeting.
Well,
that is about me, and yet
Yeah.
I'm getting kicked off of my own show
You
somehow.
are. But I know you'd want a cage match. So we've got the new baddie, Skrull.
Okay.
Versus shit. I just had it. Oh my god. Oh, what's his fucking name?
What does he look like? I can help you out.
It's the guy that was supposed to be the Luke Skywalker in Mando season 2. They were teasing it. It was going to be the other guy that.
Plo Koon.
Plo Koon, yes.
Skull versus Plo Koon.
That's a good match.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. You know what I like about Skull? Size. By the way, rest in peace, Ray Stevenson. We should probably bring that up.
We did.
We did?
We said F.
This episode?
Yes, we just did.
Okay. Ray Stevens, rest in peace. He's been great. He's been wonderful. Size, man. I'm liking a fucking Jedi who's big again. Like Vader. I like a Jedi with some size. Yeah. No more fucking string beans.
No
for
more
Jedis.
Ewan McGregor's and Mark Hamill's.
No, but I mean, you know what I'm saying.
Adam Driver.
That's what I mean. Adam Driver's a skinny guy,
Beanpole.
and as much as I love Ian Palpatine's my favorite, but he's skinny little dude. Vader, big size, powerful. Give me Skull, man. All day, every day, babe.
I don't know. Plo Koon's pretty badass. So.
He is, but he didn't. But he got bounced from the Mandalorian season 2 finale, so that shows you how fucking important he is.
I mean, okay. Let's not even do that.
Bounced.
Got it.
So, who's winning?
Oh, Plo Koon.
I will look it up now. I will go to StarWarsAnswers.com, where if you have any questions, you just type it in and they give you the answer. Who would win in a fight? Skull or Katoon? Star Wars Answer says Skull. 8-second knockout. And then it says Jedi Jared's a stupid idiot.
Okay.
And then, well, hold on.
Can,
What a jerk Jedi Jared is.
I'm gonna go take a use.
Minus,
the bathroom.
this is what StarWarsAnswers.com says.
Okay.
Where are you going?
Use the bathroom because we sat here for an hour and a half.
We have a minute left. You can't leave
Oh, I can't.
with a minute left in the show.
Can we just wrap up the show then? I really need to pee.
I know, but the song has a minute left in it. So let's talk about all the things that we love about. He's leaving us. Folks, while Jared takes a pee-pee. So I guess that's the end of Jared. Want to thank you for subscribing and liking out. By the way, I hope no poo-poo. I don't have toilet paper. Paycheck is tomorrow. We'll see you guys next week for another episode of Yaddle Channel. Ahsoka Tano, episode 3. We look forward to it. He's Jedi Jared. I'm Darth David. Good night, everybody.